Hey guys, it's Josh Berniking. I'm the struggling Christian dad. I know, it's right. It's crazy. You guys can actually hear me now. My new career choice has kind of left me with some extra time, so I figured I'd start doing some of these podcasts. I talked about earlier on in my blog about doing something like this, and never really had the time to pull it off with my current job. So here I go. I promised the little messages that I'm going to send will be short and sweet. They're not going to be anything longer than 4 or 5 minutes. Just kind of to the point type things, just like my blog, guys. Just kind of my feelings. To those of you who are new to the blog, just let me give you some quick background information on me. My name is Josh. I'm not a pastor. I'm not an expert on the Bible or anything like that. I am an imperfect person that struggles with this everyday life. And I always tell people I find comfort in the words of Jesus. And I'm just here to embrace others kind of in that same situation. Today we're going to talk about being Christians with open arms. I was flipping channels on television yesterday, and I hit this local broadcast show. I don't think it's local to North Carolina. I think they're actually out of Michigan somewhere, but it was on my dish, and I stopped because the name of the show was intriguing. It's called Ask the Preacher. So I was curious, and that was actually my first mistake when I stopped. I was watching, and the first question someone asked one of the preachers was about divorce and how it's a sin, and why are pastors remarrying people who are divorced? Being a divorced and a remarried person, I stopped. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is going to be interesting. We'll see what they say. I was hoping, for some, grace or some love, and the first thing out of the preacher's mouth just turned me off. He started with the words, God hates. That's right. God hates divorce. How do you know that? Like, how does he know God hates divorce? I mean, did God talk to him? Did he say, hey, I want you to tell everyone God hates, that I hate divorce? I really don't think he did. God's main man, Moses, came up with the idea of divorce, technically, if God hated divorce, then he hated Moses for coming up with the idea. I'm not here today to argue that divorce is a good or a bad thing. That's not the point of this podcast at all. I can tell you that from someone who has gone through divorce, it's not a good thing, guys. It's bad. I always encourage people that are in any sort of situation like that to try and reconcile, try to work things out if you can, because getting divorced is not good. It's bad, and it's usually ugly. No matter how amicable it may seem, it'll end up being a bad thing. I hold no judgment or condemnation for people who get divorced. My ex-wife and I definitely could not work it out. We didn't even really try, to be honest with you. It's something that we have to live with now, and it's not a good thing at all. But I'm not here to argue anything like that. What I'm here to say is, why do we have to turn people off with words like hate? That just immediately just ruffles feathers. When I say, especially if you're someone that's had to partake in that sin or has an addiction to that sin or has a problem with that, that's just going to turn you off. You're just not going to listen anymore. I was on BibleGateway.com this morning. It's one of those sites I always check out. I highly recommend it to people. If you're looking for verses of the Bible or some inspiration, they have some great Bible reading plans on there, guys. They've got, any verse of the Bible. They do a verse of the day thing that I love. I look at almost every day. Sometimes I'll throw them on the blog if I really like it. I'll probably throw today's up there at some point. The verse for the day was Proverbs 15:1. A gentle answer deflects anger, but harsh words make tempers flare. Guys, it doesn't get much simpler than that. Why do we use harsh words when people sin? Why not say, hey, brother, why don't you come over to my house for dinner? Let's talk. Use the open arms to introduce the idea of Jesus and his amazing grace to sinners. There's no sin that the love and salvation of Jesus cannot forgive. Jesus embraced sinners, and it talks about it over and over again in the Bible. Matthew 9:10. Later, Matthew invited Jesus and his disciples to his home as dinner guests, along with many tax collectors and other disreputable sinners. Come on, guys. Jesus' intent for us and how we act toward each other could not be more clear. Let's listen to him in Luke 7, verse 34. The Son of Man, on the other hand, feasts and drinks, and you say, he's a glutton and a drunkard and a friend of tax collectors and other sinners. Guys, that is Jesus. That's how Jesus thought other people saw him. And he was okay with this. He wanted this. Come on, guys. Let's follow his words and his lead. Let's embrace the sinners. Let's love on them. just like Jesus did. Let's invite them to dinner. Let's be their friends. Let's, as Christians, stop making the enemies and start making friends that we can share our faith and love with. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for reading. I hope you guys have a great day. God bless you all. We'll hear from you again soon.